Hi, welcome to Nari's YouTube channel. Today's topic is going to be about gluten-free Oreos. So this has been a topic of excitement in the gluten-free community for a little bit. It's ever since Oreo announced, or Nabisco announced, there would be a gluten-free Oreo. There have been a large group of people stalking stores and even like Walmart.com online to see when these would come out. Now, I know, touche. Oreos aren't like my favorite cookie of all time, but I do love Oreos. And over the years, there's been several different types of Oreo-like cookies that have been available for people who cannot have gluten and who have celiac. So I do want to share with you the different types of Oreo cookies, and I apologize, I haven't been to the store to get the other two types that we like, but I will kind of give you my take on these. And again, these are just my opinion. But gluten-free Oreos from Nabisco, they came out with a gluten-free double stuff Oreo and a regular gluten-free Oreo. Now, I will bring my kids and family on board. They all have celiac to give you their thoughts on which is their favorite. My youngest son loves the gluten-free Nabisco Oreos. And I will say a couple of things important that celiacs need to kind of look for. One is that there is a certified gluten-free label on here. And as a very, very sensitive celiac, I will tell you that I've had zero issues with these gluten-free Oreos, and that's something that I take very, very seriously. There are other types of products or foods out there that are batch tested, such as Cheerios, and those I feel are not safe for celiacs. My son has gotten very, very sick on those, but we have had zero issues with the gluten-free Oreos. So what I will tell you, it's a tab that kind of opens up like this to get into the cookie. And I love those kinds of tabs because it's like easy access to the cookies, right? Easy to get into. And gosh, this cookie got broken. But anyway, if you look on the cookie, and this one you're probably not going to be able to see because I think it's broken. But if you look really carefully, may I focus on the cookie, it actually says gluten-free. And I just want to give a huge shout out to Nabisco because that's amazing. There are other companies that make a gluten-free and a non-gluten-free version of cookies. And sometimes if the packaging is exactly the same, we've had that experience before where my husband picked up the wrong package of cookies. He was the only one who ate them, but got really, really sick. And it took us, a little while to figure out what the heck just happened. So I love that these cookies are in a very obviously different, it's very brightly labeled, but the cookie itself says gluten-free. Pretty cool if you take the time to read it. So, or if you're shoving them into your mouth too fast to read it, just know it's there. So some of the other gluten-free options, I don't have the boxes in front of me today because I haven't been to the store, but Trader Joe's JoJo's, there is a gluten-free Trader Joe's JoJo's version. There is a possibility, it says it may have traces of milk or could contain, I have to look at the verbiage, but there is a possibility of some cross-contamination with milk. So if you have a dairy issue, that may not be the right option for you. These gluten-free Oreos have an allergy label. It just says soy, which is fabulous. So these are dairy-free as well, which is amazing. And there's a double stuffed option. So I personally, and you're probably gonna be like, what? I like my cookie to cream ratio to be pretty equal. So the double stuff is too much cream for me. My children would beg to differ with me, which is why we have the double stuff. So if you like more cream and less cookie, the double stuff would be your option. If you want more cookie to cream ratio to be equal, the regular is probably going to be your option. So you've got the gluten-free double stuffed Oreos, the gluten-free regular Oreos, both the Nabisco version. You have the JoJo's, the Trader Joe JoJo's gluten-free version. Glutino also makes a chocolate cookie sandwich cracker, I think is what it's called, which is similar to the Oreo. And then one of our favorites is the gluten-free Maidal chocolate sandwich cookie. And the allergy label on here says soy. There are no peanuts. You can see it's peanut-free. You can see that it says gluten-free right on the packaging. My finger wasn't covering it. So I'm just gonna today not do a taste test. We'll save that for another time, and I will definitely do that when I have all the cookies available in front of me. But I will share with you my thoughts on these two cookies. So the Nabisco Oreo flavored cookies are my youngest son's favorite. And I think he likes it because he loves to dunk these in milk. And it's a little bit more sturdier, crispier cookie. So it withstands the dunking into the milk and hanging in the milk till you soak up all the milk. And he has a dairy allergy, so it's almond milk. But soaking of all the milk up until it gets to the right consistency where it kind of melts in your mouth. I think he likes that. And he also likes that there's a double stuff. So he is definitely an extra cream kind of kid. Before we had the double stuff, he would take the cookies apart and, you know, stack the extra creams in there. So I do think if you're twisting off the Oreo, this is very easy to twist and get to the cream without breaking all the cookies. So it's a little bit sturdier, crispier cookie. And I have celiac and I'm gluten-free, so I can't remember exactly what an Oreo tastes like. It's been a little while, but from what I remember, it tastes just like a regular Oreo. Will this kill somebody who doesn't need gluten-free to eat it? No. Is it completely and utterly disgusting? No. Does it taste like twigs and berries, which everyone used to think that that's all celiacs ate? No. So it's a great option. I've been able to find it in all my local grocery stores. It is the end of February. I had to look at the calendar, end of February, and they're everywhere. So it's really easy to get to, and a cookie that's very, very good. So we'll do a taste test next time, but just know, you know, it's out there. The gluten-free community is going completely wild over them, and they remind me of a regular gluten cookie or a gluten Oreo. These Midels are a little bit harder to find. I've been able to find them at Walmart and one of my local grocery stores. And I will tell you, you know, the packaging isn't quite as fun. You can't like peel it up from the front. You got to peel it from the side. There's no way to like reclose it. So unfortunately, if you open one of these bags, you may have to eat the whole thing because unless you're going to put it in a Ziploc or like a cookie bin, you don't want them to get stale. I mean, just my thoughts. But anyways, these are actually my favorite of the cookies and of the sandwich, chocolate sandwich variety. And the reason I like them is it's a softer cookie. So I know I'm not a dunker in milk, and I also can't do real milk, so I do almond milk, but I'm not really a dunker. I don't like kind of the mushy cookie thing. I think I loved it as a kid, and as an adult, it's not really my thing, not really my jam anymore. But I like that it's a very soft, like it's a softer cookie compared to, I mean, it's still got the crunch of a sandwich cookie, but compared to the Nabisco Oreo cookies, it is a little bit softer and to me has a slightly different flavor. Does it taste like an Oreo cookie? Absolutely. They're just a little slightly different variant in it. And if you want to know my opinion on Glutino, I think it's the least of what I remember Oreo cookies to taste like. They had a great recipe years ago and it was wonderful. They did something to change it and I'm not quite as big a fan. So it doesn't have kind of that chocolatey, sandwichy flavor as much. It's definitely crispier. And Trader Joe's is the same. They've changed their recipe recently, or maybe they just cooked the cookies too long over the holidays. I'm not really sure. The family was a little disappointed because they were a little overdone, a little extra crispy. So if you want a super crispy cookie, Trader Joe's extra crispy seemed to be kind of the way to go with the gluten-free. And they do have that cross-contamination possibility with dairy. So I tend to avoid the Trader Joe's JoJo's, the gluten-free JoJo's, just because of the fact that I can't do dairy. So my three options kind of boil down to these. But today, again, the two we're talking, or three, I guess, the Oreos double stuffed, the Oreos regular, and the Midel. I tend to give an extra, you know, chocolate sandwich cookie thumbs up to the Midels, but the Oreos are a really great option and they taste really good. So perhaps if you are not a celiac, you can share your thoughts on how they taste compared to the regular Oreos, but I think they're a really, really great option for everybody. Thanks, Nabisco, for bringing us some Oreo cookies. Now I can make gluten-free, dirt cake a little bit easier. We'll talk about that next time. Have a great day.